Hi, guys. Well, at this point in time, there's over 3 million cases worldwide with over 200,000 deaths. And there's 1 million cases in the United States with over 60,000 deaths. Relaxing of social distancing is being planned. I think much to the chagrin of Dr. Fauci. Um, Governors are starting to relax social distancing. People are going back to work. They're gathering on beaches and open beaches in California without any masks. Um, uh, and that's a problem. Why is it a problem? If you remember, every person who's been infected, there's at least two other people who contacted that person statistically and are infected. Now, whether those people clear the virus and become immune is the question. Some people will clear the virus and become immune. Others will not clear the virus and not get sick. Those are called asymptomatic carriers. And those are perhaps the most dangerous people because you don't know who that is. Some people we're not testing until recently may be carrying the virus and not having any symptoms, but they can infect others. So the asymptomatic carriers represent a large number of people. Um, and in New York, then they tested in New York, about 25% of the people they tested were asymptomatic carriers or actually had antibodies and had been exposed, but you don't know exactly whether or not they're carrying the antigen, since that's generally not being tested alongside the antibodies. You just know that 25% of asymptomatic people tested positive in New York. And when you calculate that compared to the population, it was an astronomical number. I think over a million were predicted to actually be walking around and having been exposed. Whether they're still carrying the virus or not is the question. The antibody only shows whether you've been exposed. It doesn't say whether or not you've cleared the virus from your system. So, does relaxation of social distancing make sense? Well, social distancing dates back to 1918 with the Spanish flu. If you go into the Google, you'll see that they were doing the same thing that we're doing, which is wearing a mask and social distancing. So the reason that the death rates are not higher is because of this very primitive but effective intervention, public health intervention. If we discontinue that, the IHSC, the ones who are keeping track of this pandemic, say that the death rate in the United States will go up to 74,000. If we really abandon social distancing, it's predicted as many as 2 million will die. So remember, there are no vaccines that have been tested and deemed effective, and there are no drugs that are effective as to date. Also, the tests themselves have not been validated, meaning reproducible accuracy and precision has not been demonstrated prior to their being distributed. So you're hearing that some tests are not accurate and some will give you false negatives. Um, so when you take all this into consideration, this is still a hot zone across the nation and across the world. And we really need to be very careful about relaxing our only protection, which is social distancing at the present time.